So I went to the closest 24-hour convenience store specifically looking for breast mints, and they didn't seem to have any. They had Tic Tacs, but they were gum. I'm looking for breast mints, not gum. So I decided, you know what? I will pick up a Dad's root beer, which when I was young wasn't just a treat, it was a treat for my dad. In fact, before they sort of had a falling out, my sister will always pick up a 4-pack of Dad's root beer for my father on Father's Day, birthdays, pretty much any holiday celebrating him. Pour it in the glass. Nutritional value: 41 grams of carbs, so I am going to have to take some extra insulin, obviously. I do this every time I do a review. Goes with being a type 1 diabetic. No vitamin A, no vitamin C, no calcium, no iron. Yeah, no iron. For the way the shadow was hitting it, looked like it was 2% of your daily intake of iron. I'm going, that can't be right. And it wasn't right, it was the shadow. It's about as dark as it appears on camera, so the foam isn't as, or at least it doesn't seem as impressive as it is on camera. It's hard to tell though. There's actually no foam, it's just ring around the edges. I'm trying to show you on camera, but it's near impossible for me to sort of tipsy. Unless maybe I tip it back. No, even if I tip it backwards, it doesn't. That's suffice it to say, there's no foam. It's just a ring around the glass. It smells like root beer, though without as much as a wintergreen as to be expected as was in the Stewart's. It's definitely a sweeter root beer. Again, the texture, mouthfeel, what have you, I prefer it to be a whole lot more silky, smooth, creamy, what have you, but I've pretty much given up on finding a soda that is other than the Stewart's orange cream soda. Or maybe a soda that has cream in the name, like a cream soda, orange cream soda, what have you. But aside from that, I've pretty much accepted that I will never find that silky, smooth texture that I remember from my youth. There's no bite to it. But then again, this isn't Barks and there's no caffeine. I will tell the story of Barks root beer if and when I get to it. Because while probably not that I'm using a story overall, you sort of have to understand my family background and the fact that we pretty much grew up in an oversized cult to fully appreciate the story behind Barks, or more specifically my father's discovery of Barks root beer. Final rating, 72 out of 100. It's sweeter. Definitely refreshing. Not necessarily a drink all day soda, but maybe have in the afternoon or evening when the sun's out and it's hot, which is definitely not this time of year. I mean, I don't know if it's officially winter, but we did have our first snowfall, I believe last week or 2 weeks ago, give or take. Bear in mind, I live in Southern Ontario, Canada, so I feel a burp coming on one moment. Well, that was sexy. Not really. So yeah. I don't know how much I paid for this, and I did not pick up the receipt because I am such a regular customer at this convenience store that they know not to bother giving me the receipt because I don't use it. I don't remember it saying caffeine free like it does right there, though it's far too small for you to likely make it out, but it does say caffeine free there. I don't remember that originally. That might be due to Barq's root beer having caffeine now. Anyways, what was the rating again? I think it was 72 out of 100. Yeah, let's stick with 72 out of 100. I'd recommend it. I'd recommend it well, but I wouldn't recommend it highly. There are not necessarily better root beers, but different root beers are there. Again, I'm looking at Barq's with the caffeine, which to me is an added bonus because, well, I don't necessarily need caffeine. I do want caffeine, so. Don't really have a caffeine problem, but if I wanted I am this close to having a caffeine problem. Probably to use this way. If I wanted a caffeine problem, I'd have a caffeine problem. I don't know how else to explain that other than I'm this close. So yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care and bye. Excuse me again.